So in today's news for XRP, we have a very important update from Congress. Congress just passed a very important amendment, and you can see here it says that the US rep criticizes Gensler's approach with amendment limiting SEC crypto action. So we're going to have a look at what he said and how this will benefit XRP coin. As we all know, Gary Gensler, in my opinion, has been very useless in this case, and I believe that he has abused his position of power since day one. And so the Republican Tom Emmer stated that Gary Gensler is ineffective and incompetent in regulating crypto, and I think this just sums up what the XRP community actually think of Gary Gensler himself. And the news is that Emmer has passed an amendment to limit the SEC's enforcement actions against digital assets until Congress establishes clear legislation. And this ties in with the fact that the amendment prohibits the SEC from using funds for enforcement activities related to crypto transactions until regulatory jurisdiction is clarified. So this is something that I like to see. Obviously, with Ripple losing a lot of money on their side, and it's taxpayers' money that have been funded for that case, and it's been going on for 2 years now. So that's something that is good to see. But again, we do need some clear regulations, and so that they can clarify for what they can enforce and what they can't enforce. And I'm very glad that this amendment has been passed, because again, it's good for the crypto market in general. And it says here that he shared his non-partisan appropriations amendment, which aims to rein in SEC enforcement abuses against the digital asset industry, and has passed the House with no opposition. Congress will hold unelected bureaucrats accountable. And then he goes on to say the reason why he has enforced this amendment and it has been approved is because it seeks to put an end to Gensler's pattern of regulatory abuse, which we have all seen throughout this case. And he says Chair Gensler refuses to provide the marketplace with clear criteria for digital assets that he would consider to be a security, and how can this industry comply if there are no rules or guidelines to follow? So obviously it's quite funny, because Gensler himself is a hypocrite and he hasn't been regulating this as well as he could have been. And again, Emmer just says it how it is, and he says here that taxpayers' resources were basically used and targeted, whilst Sam Bankman-Fried was running a Ponzi scheme right under his nose. And I think Emmer pretty much summed it up all from our perspective. So this is big news that Congress has passed this amendment, and I'm quite glad that it has passed it. So before we get into the price action for XRP coin today, which is the 9th of November, this is the all-important day that we have, because it is the SEC lawsuit deadline. So this is a day that the court have basically ordered for Ripple and SEC to come together and schedule a briefing to sort out the settlement. Now the SEC are currently asking XRP for $770 million in potential fines. Now many lawyers in the XRP community have come out saying that this will not be a likely outcome. If anything, they could be paying a third or even a quarter of the fine. Some have even said zero if there is no evidence of Ripple causing any sort of financial harm to investors. So we are going to be having some big news later on regarding this settlement. Again, we have had the Ripple Swell event, which commenced yesterday, and we've also got some today too. And basically, by the end of the day, the parties shall jointly propose a briefing schedule with regard to remedies, or if the parties cannot agree, they shall jointly request that the court set a briefing schedule. So I personally think that the parties won't agree, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think that Ripple may counter offer and pay a lower fine. So let's have a look at the price action for today. You can see that we're currently trading at 68 cents. We are showing as red today, but we are still doing fine. The volume has gone down a bit by 2.44%. However, we are trading at $2.1 billion, which is still pretty strong. As you can see from the 7-day chart, we are still up by 10%. And basically for the past couple of days, Ripple has been fighting to make its way back up to that 70-cent level. You can see that we just hit it in the morning a couple of hours ago with 2 billion trading volume, but we've come back down a bit by about 1.2 cents. We did hit our high on the 6th of November at 72 cents with a volume of 3 billion, so we are only 4 cents away from it. And I do think that the price will be influenced somewhat by the outcome today for the SEC settlement, and so we'll take a look at where the price goes then, but I do want it to stay above the 65-cent level. Guys, if you want daily XRP news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.